Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Let me get this thing off here. I'm trying to find it. There it is, right there, right there, right there, y'all. There it is, right there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Get my headphones. I'm actually in this place here, and I ain't even got my doggone headphones on. Now we cooking with grease. Now we cooking. Can't fry that chicken in water. You can't fry that chicken in water. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Anna. Good morning. How
Good
you doing?
morning.
Hey, look at here. We got some stuff to talk. This is way out Wednesday. The phone lines are open 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. The phone lines are open and we're waiting on you to call in. We want you to call in. We want to hear what you have to say about what we're going to talk about today. Now, before I do that, Anna, how you doing? Everything going good with you this morning? How you doing this morning?
Good and bad.
Uh-oh.
Because I actually took time to watch the news
Mm,
and more than I usually do. So
don't
good
blame.
and bad. There's been a lot of bad out on the news.
And there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on today, man, in this day and time that
Oh, but I got some good news.
okay, just cut me off. It's okay. Go ahead, tell
I'm
me.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's your good news?
Well, my sister, whom everybody knows, and I announced, and she wanted to personally thank everyone for their prayers. I had a really good report once surgery and everything was done. She did have cancer in the first stage.
Okay,
Um, to God the glory, she won't need any type of chemo or radiation
it's good.
because once so it stayed in what they call in situ, so it stayed in place. It
Mm-hmm.
did not spread to other areas, which was their main concern. Every how do you say this? Every report of every MRI, ultrasound, blood labs, everything was working against her. But to God the glory. So you guys don't lose faith. Don't lose faith.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
thank you, Raheem, for your prayers.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. And everybody else that's listening, that's tuning in, that's a part of the family here, the
Absolutely.
DKM Media Group Nation. Welcome and thank each and every one of you. Also, I know a lot of people out there was really praying, and we really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. But I gotta change gears, Anna. I gotta change gears. Um, there's so much going on, man. There's so much going on, and I want everybody that's listening to share this broadcast. We're gonna talk about it today. Too many tears. Too many tears. Um, and partly what we're talking about is what happened in Minneapolis. What happened in Minneapolis? It resembles to a large degree what happened with Garner.
Mhm.
I can't breathe. And this young man, he was he was on the ground in handcuffs. He was handcuffed. He was already handcuffed. So what else do you need? He's handcuffed. He's laying on the ground face down. Laid on the ground face down. What else do you need? What else do you want from him? What else do you want him to do? Now you got an officer that's way over 200 pounds. Way over 200 pounds. It only takes about six to 8 pounds of pressure to break a neck. And don't ask me how I know that, but that's all it takes to break a person's neck. 6 to 8 pounds, well, let's say 6 to 10 pounds of pressure to break somebody's neck. You got a 200, a well over 200 pound person with all of his weight, and you can tell a couple of times he was shifting his weight. He was shifting his weight on the back of somebody's neck that's laying face down on the ground to the point where the young lady, she screamed out, "Let him up!" His nose is now bleeding. His nose is bleeding. That's how much pressure. That's how much pressure was on this young man's neck. And you sit there with that pressure on his neck for how long? At least 10 minutes. People telling you, there's another officer that's standing there that's pretty much trying to hold the people off while you're doing this to this young man. He's on the ground telling you he can't breathe. I can't breathe. My body is hurting. I'm hurting all over. I'm hurt. I'm in pain. He's crying out, "Mama." He's crying out, "Mama." Crying out, "Mama."
Mm.
And yet and still you don't let this man up. At what point have you made your arrest? At what point do you get him up off the ground and put him in the back of the car so you can take him down and process him? Now you can't even process him because he's in the morgue. Now he's in the morgue. He's dead. What did he do that made you the judge, juror, and prosecutor, whereas you could take his life? What is it that he done? What could he have done that was so bad that allowed you the opportunity to take his life from him? Please tell me. Please tell me. Anna, what's on your heart, Anna? Talk to me.
A lot of anger. We're not even over the Ahmaud Arbery.
Exactly.
That happened 2 months ago. None of us knew about till here, about a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been person after person after person after person. Guys, Black Lives Matter. And, I put a post up on there, and I don't know who saw it, who got offended by it, and who didn't. But it's amazing to me how it bothers so many people when Kaepernick gets down on one knee for people's lives. Yet you had the law, who's supposed to be here to enforce and help us, sit here and do the same thing. And I'm sure some people won't be as offended by it as they are by Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys can go on my page, it's on there. It's a meme. So it's just, you're crying for your mom. To see a grown man crying for their mom, it angers me because, it's a bad situation. 3 other officers stood there and watched a cold-blooded death, same as Arbery and the same as so many others. I am angered. And then to think that they're taking down the video is my understanding.
Yeah.
Why? It was a cold murder, and it's all over the news. Why? For what? To protect who? To protect who? Why are we reporting it? Somebody's reporting it, obviously, but we know why.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to stand up. It's time to just say, stop it. It's time to unite. It's time to just don't take no for an answer. Fill up those courtrooms. Fill up those courtrooms. Firing those law enforcement officers, in my opinion, is not enough. That's a murder.
No. They need to be incarcerated. They need to be locked up. They really need to be locked up, because you cannot tell me that if you're if you're a law enforcement officer, you know what murder is. You know what murder is. And this, I don't care how you try to dress it up, what kind of nice little pretty bow you try to put on there. This is murder. You had the man on the ground. He was already handcuffed, laying face down on the ground.
Absolutely.
What else do you need for him to do?
Absolutely.
What else can he do? He's been detained. He's handcuffed behind his back. What is it? What do you think he's going to do? What kind of harm is he posing to you? Why do you have to have your knee on the back of his neck until the ambulance get there? And then you just, if anybody pay attention, when the ambulance got there, they drug his body across the ground. They drug his body across the ground. Then they put the little sheet or whatever it is on the ground. Then they rolled him on top of there. Then put him on the gurney and took him off. But they drugged this man's body, lifeless body, across the ground. And see, my thing is, then you have all these people standing around and just talking. He do something. Yeah, that's the police officer, but the police officer is wrong. Do something. If you doing something may have gotten you arrested, but at the same time, you would have saved his life. Do something.
Absolutely.
Y'all sit around and I'm glad somebody videoed it, because now they got the evidence that they need. But at the same time, sometimes just videoing it is not enough. Do something. Do something. Go ahead, Anna.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Videos are not enough anymore. It's getting to the point with the Ahmaud Arbery situation where I have absolutely enforcement officers and recommended for people to. Was that me?
No, that was me. That was me.
I'm sorry. I have absolutely recommended for people of color, brown and black. Especially, I see this so much more on the news with the Black community. Go out, train your kids, carry a weapon, carry cameras always on you, because it's getting to that point. And I am a person who was totally against what carrying any type of concealed weapon. But you know what? It's to the point where one has to defend themselves. The Bible says nothing negative about one defending themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It does, you know, you can put that in your mind, whatever it is you're going to do to defend yourselves. I can name countless situations. I can name another. Good morning, Christy. I can name another situation where you had a guy who I believe was with his daughter walking out of a store, and you had this retired older man that just shot him right there. You had another situation with the teacher. I forget his name. He's saying, I can carry a concealed weapon. You know, I am armed. And the police officer shot him and still got off, even though this is on videotape. Even though, look, I don't care what the person's background is. I am involved with a human justice organization. I am owner of a human justice CEO and founder of a human justice organization, and I am in no shape, form, or manner okay, regardless what the person has done in their past, has nothing to do, and it just makes me so angry, has nothing to do with you being a murderer, because that's what they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got a caller. Hold on, we're gonna go to Christy real quick. Christy, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Morning Glow family.
Christy, what we're talking about today is too many tears. This is Way Out Wednesday, but we're talking about too many tears. And what we're talking about is the situation that happened in Minneapolis. Then and on top of that, just like Anna said, we still dealing with the Aubrey situation. We still dealing with that in our community. We still dealing with the Bland situation in our community. We still dealing with the Garner situation in our community. We still dealing with the Trayvon Martin situation in our community. We still and I could go on and on and on and on and on. We still dealing with this, but now you got another situation where this man was laid on the ground, handcuffed behind his back. Hands are handcuffed behind his back. You got an over 200-some pound officer with his knee on the man's neck, holding him down there for at least 10 minutes. Now the ambulance finally get there. They rolled his dead body, his lifeless body, across the ground. They pulled him across the ground, put him on a sheet, rolled him over, and then put him on the gurney. When is enough, Christy?
That's what I said, and that's what I say. It's to the point to where I was so upset, more than normal, because you know it's sad when things become the same thing over and over and over again, and until there is proper justice, it's going to continue to happen because there's no punishment for doing anything like that. And I know last night on the Knowledge Radio, I read this quote, and I'm gonna read it again for you, Raheem, because this quote touched my heart, because in it, George Floyd was saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And you have another Black man who was face down, knee and back and neck, saying he can't breathe and died. So I say, the way the quote goes, and it's not mine. It's not mine. I don't know who wrote this, but it touched me. I got it on Facebook. But it touched my heart. It says, the day's going to come when I won't march no more. The day is going to come when I won't or can't speak no more. But while my sister ain't equal and my brother can't breathe, hand in hand with my family, my friends, my loved ones, we will fill these streets. Yeah, that spoke volumes to me. Volumes. So my question is just like what you said, Raheem, when is enough is enough? When are we going to start doing something as a community to push back? And I'm not meaning violence, because violence begets violence. But I am saying it is time for the Black community to stand up and make a stand against police brutality. It's too many men, it's too many women that are being abused by police officers, and it's okay. It's like, I honestly don't know how to protect my sons from America, and I say that all the time. How do I protect my brown boys, my Black boys, my Black girls, my brown girls from the system that's supposed to protect them? How am I supposed to tell my daughter when a police officer pull you over? What am I supposed to tell her? Stay in your car. No, because then you're going to get tased. I can say, well, put your hands on the steering wheel. No, because then they're going to drag you out the car and beat you. Well, make sure you don't be flip mouth. Well, if I don't state my rights, they're going to take advantage of me anyway, mama. How do I protect my kids? They can't go to the store. We can't go jogging in different neighborhoods. We can't, it's a lot of things we cannot do. And for those people who want to say that we making a big deal out of nothing, let your race of people be targeted. Let your race of people be beaten and abused for minute things. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this good. If you have done something wrong, if I'm speeding down the road, police officer, please, you have the right to stop me and give me a ticket. But what you don't have the right to do is belittle me, to beat me, to abuse me, to tase me, to rape me, to molest me. You don't have the right to do those things. Now, you do have a right to give me a ticket. If I'm selling drugs or if I don't commit a robbery, you have all means the right to protect yourself if I have a weapon. And you have the right to send me to justice, but don't sit there and beat me in the middle of the street when I am unarmed, putting your knee in my neck and I'm saying, I can't breathe. Please, sir, I'm begging for help. And you're sitting there feeling the life. I don't care what nobody say. If you have a knee on somebody, you can feel when they can't breathe, because it's gonna be I can't breathe, and they calling for help at the same time. You have to be a despicable, horrible, heartless person to sit there and watch somebody die because of your hatred. And I guess I really get angry, because to me that is just so inhumane. I couldn't even do a dog like that. I don't have it in my body, and you are supposed to protect this man or protect the citizens, whatever he did, y'all, whatever his background is. It does not justify his killing, and it doesn't justify the police officers taking advantage. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Absolutely. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? 706 area code. 706 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, going back to Anna. Anna, what's on your heart right now, man? Is when is enough? And we're past the point where we were actually saying too many tears. We're past that point because we've already shedded too many tears. So what's on your heart?
It's at this point we are past it. I mean, I can't even, the face that I had when I saw that video, because I'm like, what is going on? What happened now in Minneapolis? I'm like, we're dealing with Ahmaud Arbery over here trying to give family support. And then all of a sudden I see this video. And I'm like, wait a minute, this guy is literally begging for his life.
Absolutely.
And, okay. And this is what I tell people. You take an oath when you do certain jobs, to be a nurse, to be a doctor, to be a police officer, to be a judge, to do certain things. You take an attorney, you take an oath. When you take that oath, how dare you just take somebody's life? Are you that angry over what? Over COVID? Over COVID? Or maybe something's going on at home? Are you that angry? Because truthfully, the streets have not even been as full. Let's be honest. I don't think Minneapolis, and we can check and see to verify, was one of the states that was opened up so quick. It's not right. It's not fair. What about that man's family? What if it was your child? What if it was your brother? What if an officer did that to your son? I don't care what race, color, what anything you are. Stand up, say that's enough. Because it is enough. And I'm sorry that I'm speaking in a higher tone, and I do when I'm angry. It's who I am. And you don't You just don't go around and kill people. And what I'm worried about is that they're going to do the same thing they always try to do, is justify this or prolong it. And then all of a sudden they're found not guilty, charges acquitted. Why did the charges need to be acquitted? You need to be incarcerated just like any other murder, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what, and you know what the sad part about it is, and working with people's rights. If somebody's poor, even if they haven't committed the crime, and we all know this, and it happens a lot in the black and brown community, they have to sit in jail, and maybe a DNA may exonerate them. Not saying everybody in there is innocent, but they've been sitting in here for 25 years. They were innocent, always said they were innocent. But then you have these murderers, real murderers, that are walking around free.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll continue domestic violence, because if you're that violent, you will continue domestic violence at home with your children, with your wife, and with whoever else. And that's okay, right? No, I'm not okay with it.
No,
none of us are.
None of us are. And we do have a phone call from the 706 area code. If you're there, what's your name? Where you calling from? 706 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on? It's Flipper.
Hey, Mr. Flipper. Mr. Flipper, I need to hear your heart this morning. Good morning to you, sir. 2 minutes.
Morning, how you doing?
I ain't doing good. Too many tears, man. We're talking about all the young men, the black and brown men that we've lost in the last couple of days. Now you got this situation in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where man, look here. They had the knee on a young man's neck, on his neck, holding him down for some 10 minutes. Then when the ambulance finally get there, they rolled his body, pulled his body across the ground and put him on top of a white sheet, then cover him and then put him on top of the gurney and take him off. This man died. He's handcuffed on the ground, handcuffed with hands behind his back. Why do you need to have your knee on his neck? At what point do you pick him up, take him off the ground, put him in the car, take him down to be booked in? At what point do you do that? Now you can't, because he's dead. Now you can't. He's dead. Mr. Flipper, when is enough enough?
I don't even know what to say, man. I'm speechless, man. When I seen the video, I don't even know what to say, man. Because it's too much to get going on. And, I mean, it's gonna take more than one person to get together, because they know that a lot of it'll be hard to get black people together. We gotta get together and get this right, man. But I don't even know what to say. Because I've seen the video multiple times. You shouldn't even came down. They should have just put him in, we already handcuffed and put him in the car, take it, do what they gotta do.
And see, the thing about it, man, there's no two ways about this, man. That was murder. There, that
was murder.
I don't
they should have been locked up right now.
Yeah, they should.
The only thing they did is fire them.
Yeah,
what's fired them? They got to lock them up.
But that's not enough. Fire them.
No, he had.
Go ahead, Christy.
I said, I thought he had just administrative leave.
No.
Meaning that he's on getting paid.
No, they fired.
Good. He deserved it.
Our phone got fired.
Yeah,
his phone got fired.
And see, that's a good start. That's a good start. But I'm gonna tell you something. They need to be incarcerated. They really need to be incarcerated. We got the third pastor with us this morning. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I can tell by your tone. See, I read your tone. I can tell where you're at right now. Have you been listening? You've been listening?
I just listened, but when I came on, I actually came on because I wanted to talk about the incident with George Floyd.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, and we said,
yeah,
we're talking
I know
about
that was what I heard.
Yeah. So go ahead, Cassandra. When is it 2 minutes? Our topic today is, and normally we don't have a topic on Wednesday because it's way out Wednesday, but we're talking about too many tears, Cassandra. Too many tears. We've shed in our black and brown community. We've shed too many tears because this situation keeps happening. We just dealing with the Aubrey situation. That happened 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
And now you got this situation in Minneapolis where you got this man handcuffed with his hands behind his back. What can he do? He's handcuffed, hand behind his back, laying face down on the ground. What kind of threat is he?
None. And then the fact, see, I didn't want to call because right now I'm so angry about what's happening. See, it gets to the point where I know we still love God. I love God with all my heart, but I'm so pissed off right now that I'm just like ready to just go rogue because this is too much, man. Yes. I'm so sick of seeing our people, period, men and women, being abused by a system that don't give a crap. And I don't care. They don't give, let me say, not all of them, because I don't want to put everybody in a box like they do us. I don't want to put everybody in a box. I don't believe that everybody hates Black people. I don't believe that. But this man, this officer, tell me the threat. Just tell me the threat. When you got your damn hands in your pocket and your knee on his neck, where's the threat? So why is it that when he's saying to you, I can't breathe? What don't you understand about that? What it was hard for him to understand about that. And I wept like a baby last night when I'm listening to this man and people saying, man, why are you doing this? And he's saying he can't breathe. Boom, 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 boom. And for minutes, people are saying that. And you don't have enough freaking humanity within you that you would look and see after, and all of them are guilty. Now, all of them are guilty of murder. That one who had his foot on the neck is one guilty. But all of them are guilty, the police officers, because you stood there, man, and you were complacent in what was happening.
Exactly. And see, my thing is a couple of times I looked at the video. I looked at, as a matter of fact, I looked at the video 2 or 3 times. And it was hard to do. And I got to admit, it was hard to do. But I just but my thing was, I saw a couple of times where it's almost like he had his knees. This man is over 200 pounds. Man is well over 200 pounds. Had his knee, and it's like a couple of times it's almost like he was grinding his knee into the man's neck, trying to instill more punishment and more pain onto the man. What gives you the right? What gives you the right to be the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor to the point where you could do this to this innocent person? I'm not gonna say innocent from not doing it. Naturally, he probably did something, but my thing is, whatever he did, does it justify what you did to him?
Murder, you know what? And as far as I'm concerned, that's another lynching. Because just think about it: the police officers, the sheriff, the policemen back in the day, they were sometimes the leaders of the lynch mob when people were being killed. It's like it keeps trickling down. Aubrey, Tim, I mean, just within a few weeks, we have to keep dealing with the same kind of crap. And then. And I'm gonna end my part right here, and I'll stop talking. But then you got an ignorant white woman that's calling the police and making
Look, I was about to bring Pastor. I was sure about to talk about that white woman in Central Park. Baby, I was just waiting to bring that one up.
I can't hear both of y'all. At the same time. Okay, go ahead, Cassandra. Then Christy, I'll come back to you.
No, but Christy, I need somebody to explain to me how this heifer gonna call the police and make up stuff, and suppose they had come, and then she's saying she's in danger. Do you know what the police could have come if they came? What they could have done to that man?
Exactly.
Shot him on.
She knew it.
She felt like she was in danger. Dumbass. Oh, excuse my language.
She knew she could do that. She knew she could do it. And that's why she did it.
Yeah. And see that, and sad as it is, man, that's where we are in this country right now. And I looked at, I love that movie. What's it? The Titans.
Remember the Titans?
Yeah. And what he says, him and the guy, two football players were having a conversation. And the guy said, man, your attitude is terrible. Your attitude on the team is terrible. And he said, attitude reflects leadership. Attitude reflects leadership. And so our leadership in this country that we're supposed to have right now, we really don't have any, but the leadership is the ones that's laying the foundation for all of this foolishness to happen. And it's amazing that we have people in this country that don't see that or putting blinders on because they don't want to see that. I hate to say it, but something is going to happen. Something's going to happen, and it's going to happen kind of fast. And this is going to stop because too many mothers are having to cry and drop their tears on their dead children inside the coffin and unjustly at the hands of people that's supposed to protect us. If you're not going to protect us, then we go protect ourselves. And that's why I say, I'm glad again, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad that they videoed it because it gave us the evidence that we need. But at the same time, the video sometimes gotta stop and you gotta do something. Get that man knee off his neck. All y'all standing around talking about it. Somebody go over there and push him off. Yeah, you will get arrested. That's fine, but you're gonna save his life. You're gonna save his life. Get that man off that man like that. Push him off. Well, baby, look here. You wrong, bro. You wrong. Turn him out and let him handcuff you. Take you on downtown. You're going downtown, but at the same time, continue to tell him you wrong, man. You wrong. Let the chips fall when they may. Y'all standing around videoing it, talking about it, but nobody's doing anything. And because of the fact nobody did anything, this man is now dead. This man is dead. He can't come back.
Raheem, let's make sure that we give the people that we're standing around credit because they started moving toward the guy. And you heard, if you listened, you heard one of the officers say, get back on the sidewalk, get back up on the curb. They were moving because they saw he was in distress. Some of them obviously started moving toward him. And you heard the officer say, get back up on the curb. Y'all get back up on the curb. So people may have been, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I understand people because this is really upsetting me because I'm so sick of this crap.
Yes, exactly.
This is really hurting me, man, because I always say, I got grandsons, man, they're all grown. And man, okay, I'm done.
Raheem, I just want
Go ahead, Christy. And a couple of you next. Go ahead, Christy.
I just want to say it is. I'm like Cassandra. It's so upsetting. If you see the passion behind it, I know I'm talking strong, but it is ridiculous. Like this man couldn't breathe, and I'm like Miss Cassandra because the lady posted, and I'm gonna share this post. She posted on Facebook. She say, "What are you supposed to do when you seeing a police officer doing something like that? How are you on a bystander supposed to be? If you run up, your life will get taken or you'll get beaten. You might not make it to that jail. If he's killing him and then I'm blacking out, and I understand the frightenedness of trying to or whether or not jump in. But that white lady at Central Park, this man was just simply bird watching. That's it. He ain't have no weapon. He ain't threatened her. Her dog running loose at the park haphazardly. I don't trust other people's dogs. So I understand the man say, ma'am, you need to put your dog on a leash. That's the rules. And you scaring away the birds that I'm trying to. She gets so angry to the point, oh, I'm finna call the police and say you assaulted me or you're violently towards me or you threatened me. The man say, what? He recording the whole thing. Now, after you get caught saying this, now you want to come with an apology saying that you're not racist and you have black friends and you love happy-go-lucky people. Well, ma'am, if that was the case, then that would have never been a thought in your head to sit there and say, oh, because I can't have let me call the police and tell them what you did to me because when they come out, there's going to be problems. I just don't understand for a white woman to say that, then that means for a fact of the police brutality that's going on. So that lets me know that's a reality. So people can stop saying that, oh, this is not mine. This is not something that's just it's happening, y'all. And I'm like Raheem, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do something. I'm not saying become violent, but we're going to have to make a stand and do something because this is continuing to happen and we cannot be an ostrich and put our head in the ground and think it's going to go away. And I know y'all think there's some good cops out there because not all cops are bad, but for a cop to stand there and watch it or know what's going on and not do nothing, how good of a cop are you? to support your brothers in the fact that they're killing and murdering people that are innocent. And I'm like, right here, I'm not saying innocent for the fact of the crime that they're doing, but innocent because you cannot be the judge, the jury, and the execution. Just like on A Time to Kill, that man said you could not take the law in your own hands. Over and over again, we hear that. We can't take the law in our own hands, but you guys. And I would love for a person who agree with what happened to call in, please. 1-678-381-1973. If you're a police officer that stand by and allow someone to get killed, call in. If you're a police officer that supports your brother and tell them out after they done did it, please call in. 678-381-1973. We would love to hear your opinion. And I know we're passionate and we'll try to take it easy on you, but you're going to get some fire.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. Anna, what's on your heart, Anna? Talk to me.
Lord. Oh, Lord. So that's exactly what I was going to say. Call into the station. Please do so. Call into the station. We will still act like Christians because that's what we are. But people are angry. People are angry. At this point, again, like I said, you have no right. The Bible says thou shalt not kill. You know what I'm saying? You have no right. I don't care what badge you have. You have no right to kill anyone. I will say this. We're not, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're not even over, like, it's like person after person. Each year, there's at least 6 stories that hit the news. 6 stories, and who knows what else does not hit the news or was not big news enough to just go out of being local news, okay? It is enough. And as a community, as human beings, as Christians, it is enough. Let's get together. Just them being arrested is not enough. Get up, vote these people who have been in office and do nothing about this. We have the power to get these people to change the law. I've always said it, and the greatest example that I give you guys is in 15 days, Puerto Ricans, our fellow Puerto Rican citizens in the island of Enchantment, overturned and made the governor and all of his staff get out of office. The governor resigned. And why? Because when there was a hurricane, over 3,000 deaths, and you guys are on WhatsApp making jokes about these deaths.
Wow.
You don't do that. It wasn't a funny time. It wasn't a good time. Then you have the office over here in the United States, the commander-in-chief, and them saying they did a lot more help than they did, which gave them all the right to, because now you guys did conflict over there. But in numbers, we make change. You guys, let's unite. Enough is enough. That was a cold-blooded murder. Ahmaud Arbery was killed cold-blooded. Let's not talk about Sandra Bland, who half the tape disappeared in the jail cell. You see it, then you don't. You know, continue. Trayvon Martin. I mean, the names just keep going and going and going. Enough. And then what gets me mad is that these people get acquitted each and every time. How? But then you have an attacker who went back after Zimmerman, and this guy got 20 years. 20 years. So if I defend myself, I get 20 years. However, if you're a cold-blooded murderer, and because we don't matter, because we've been the lowest of the lowest to some people's eyes, because that doesn't matter. Now at this point, you're going to turn around and do what you want because it's been like that throughout history. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Absolutely. Mr. Flipper, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Mr. Flipper, you there? Mr. Flipper, are you there? Okay, Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I'm just, I'm numb. I'm really numb today because I really had to ingest what I saw with Floyd, and then I, listened to his family last night, and I was heartbroken. Man, these men are crying out. You know, we need justice. You know, and then their mother had just passed
Mm,
2 years ago, and he was saying, "Mama, I can't breathe."
mm.
And that was devastating to them. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Could it be that he was seeing her face at the, you know
Yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
As he was losing his life. And
Mm-hmm.
then when they got there and they picking him out, they treated him like a piece of trash. And I think he was dead when the ambulance got there, because his body was totally limp.
Yep.
It
Mm-hmm.
just, it felt like he was dead. And tears
You see
were
how they
just coming out of my
do you see how
eyes.
they poured his body across the ground? They just drug his body
That's,
across the ground.
oh, this is what I'm saying. Man's inhumanity towards man. And the only thing that stops stuff like this is when there's an uprising, when we stand up and say, like we're saying, enough is enough. And I'm sure, SCLC, NAACP, some of these other groups will be organizing something in Atlanta, and I'll be there.
Yes.
And no, we might can't change anything right at that second, but we can let them know that remember the movie back in the day said we're mad as hell and we're
Mm-hmm.
not going to take it anymore. It gives them a statement, and then we have to use our dollar bills. We have to show the United States how important people of color are to
Yeah.
this country. Shut them down. They already shut down. We should stop buying everything except for food,
Yep.
because we got to
Yeah.
food. We got to have our food. And then food, if you play with us too much, we'll start growing it in the backyard. Don't play,
Come on.
because we don't have to just sit back and allow things to continue to go like they're going.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. There's so much going on. Christy, talk to me. Christy, talk. There's a lot, man. And how many more tears? How many more tears do we have?
And Raheem, I have to bring up Chicago. While we talking about lives, there was
Mm-hmm.
49 shootings just over a weekend and 10 dead off of street violence. We
Mm-hmm.
hurting ourselves too.
Yeah.
It's like if you burn a candle on both ends of the stick, it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna be extinct. We keep killing each other, and then other things that are coming into play that's taking us out too. So I'm just I'm telling every gang, whatever gang you in, I don't care if it's me five me, whatever, Crip,
We
Blood,
we fire us.
whatever, you by you, we by we, whatever the game, whatever your color is, I don't care, purple, green, orange,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, y'all, it's more than that. Just like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King had to come together. A change didn't come until the bus boycott came. They didn't just stop treating just because we wanted them to ride the bus and ride where we sit where we want to sit. They didn't just give us that luxury. We had to fight for it, and
Yeah.
people had to walk many miles to make a point to drive home the boycott. And it didn't work until we all came together. The civil rights movement didn't hit a plateau until Selma. When they went to Selma and when all those people saw all those people being beaten and abused, y'all, it's not going to just happen. It's not going to just lay in our laps because we want it to happen, because we talking about it, because we're angry about it. When we get angry, we need to do some action. We didn't just get segregation out of America because they saw that we were good people and wanted to say, okay, we've been treating them bad. No, we had to fight for that. There were people in place. I can name millions of black people, our ancestors fought from the time that they were captured in Africa to the time they got to this land, to the time when they got to this land, they started fighting, learning how to read, learning how to write, learning their laws, learning how to get back, learning how to buy land. we got here and everything was not given easily. It was a fight for democracy. It was a fight for it was a revolution that had to happen. Y'all, I know nobody want to hear the truth. But you know, when Anna was talking about how angry she is, I want to explain something to Christian folks, because I want to explain that anger is okay. Because when Jesus went to the temple and they were selling stuff and had made his house selling stuff out of his house, he got angry. It says he got angry. He kicked over, yeah, I'm paraphrasing. He kicked over some tables. He pushed some people out the way. He was upset. And he said that he was mad because you done turned his house into a house of thieves instead of a house of prayer. So you can be angry, but sin not. And us talking about this is not sinning, and being angry and talking about a revolution to help our people, that is not a sin. I'm telling y'all to get angry and do something. Do something.
That's the thing right there. That's the absolute thing right there. We have to do something. We have to do something. Anna, talk to me, Anna, because if we continue to let this continue to happen, it's not going to stop. They're not going to stop because they love us, because they're showing us that they don't. They're showing us that they don't.
You're right. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I was muted, and they don't care. Okay, they don't care. We've seen it from the top of leadership on down to the lady at the park over in New York. Okay, I saw that video as well. We've seen it over and over again, attacks towards different people, but these attacks in particular, what happened in the case of these 4 officers, it's at this point, it's not a matter of anymore, let's talk about it. Oh, let's do a march about it. Oh, let's see this. No. Go in there in numbers like Puerto Ricans did, or your fellow brothers and sisters, citizens did. They would not leave. Believe me, you can't do anything in numbers. You're overruled. I don't care how many weapons you have. You start shooting, guess what? It'll go down on history. You went down on history doing the right thing. What does the Bible say about doing the right thing, and dying doing the right thing? It works out to your advantage, right? So he looks at that at the end of the day, right? So at the end of the day, do the right thing in numbers. I mean, they took so much control. And I know you guys saw this on the news. This was 2 years ago. Right now they have a woman governor who has done her job exceptionally well. Okay. You guys can do this. Us fellow Americans here, we can do this in numbers. Go outside that police department in Minneapolis. I'm willing to take a trip.
Yeah.
Go out there. Wear your mask. Wear your gloves. Go out there in numbers. Don't leave. Stay there for a month if you have to stay. Alternate. Guess what? They're going to eventually prosecute. Continue doing what we have to do as fellow Americans. I'm telling you, in numbers. I didn't believe it till I saw, I was like, in 15 days, they did that. I didn't think they were going to do it. But see, us Puerto Ricans, we make a party out of everything, man. They were playing music. They were like, we're not going to stop until, Of course, they did try the violence, which, people went on air and Christians went on air. They say, this is not the way. Let's not start vandalizing stuff, breaking stuff, stealing. No, let's stand outside what they call the Capitol, the mansion of the governor, and don't leave until people walked and walked and walked. Roads were blocked. What can you do when you're there in numbers? Understand this, people, and I try to say it all the time. In numbers will make change. Why doesn't the 5 of us that are here on the phone right now, because I'm sure there's more people watching, why don't the 5 of us start by saying, I'll go to Minneapolis. I'll stand out there. I'll take a weekend out there. Guess what? You can only do a weekend, but there might be somebody who might be able to stand there for a whole week and go back and forth.
Cassandra, what's on your heart right now? Because that's good, because we have to do something. doing nothing is not that's not an option at this point. That's not an option. So Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I agree with Anna. I don't believe that we have to take, the whole country needs to be involved. So that means if we do downtown Atlanta, that's just as powerful. I mean, when not Trayvon, one of the young men that got killed, we totally took over downtown Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how many thousands upon thousands of people were downtown Atlanta, and we marched for days. I know I was out there at least 2 to 3 days myself.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And they continued to march after I left from down there. But we have to make a very loud noise,
Mm-hmm.
and let them know that we are here. We see what's happening. We are not happy with it, and we are not going to allow it to continue.
That's right.
And like I said, our dollars will make the difference, but our presence, if we just, every city, if people would just go to the streets and get in front of their police departments and let them know this is not acceptable. We're not going to continue to see our people killed and slaughtered like animals.
Mm-hmm.
They will get the message.
And we have to, I said earlier, Sandra, that if nothing is done quickly, something's going to happen quickly, because it's going on too much, too often. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like every day you wake up to something different.
What's next? Yeah.
It's like, what are they trying to do? Every day you already got this corona thing going on. That's on everybody's heart. That's weighing on everybody's heart. You got the whole big election going on. You got your nincompoop in the White House up there. All this stuff is going on, and then you have all that people getting killed. There's no excuse. Cassandra, if I was sitting in front of them officers right now, and I asked them to explain to me what happened, there's nothing they can say to me that would make sense.
Nothing.
That why you did what you did. The other three officers that was there, you didn't have the common sense. Whoever he is, I don't know whether he's supposed to be supervisor or what he's supposed to be. It don't make no difference. He's wrong. He was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of y'all should have had, if y'all law enforcement, y'all supposed to be enforcing the law to preserve and protect. You got to protect that man that's on the ground with that knee on his neck. You're not gonna protect him. He don't deserve to be protected. Go ahead, Cassandra.
But let me say what always ends up happening, and this right here sends me like ballistic almost. You gonna have some ignorant people, and usually the other people, them, and I hate to put it like that, but that's how they describe us. I mean, you people. Those people will find a way to justify where he had committed. I don't give a rat's butt what you think he did. There is a system of law in place, even though it's not a good system.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a way to do it. You do not have the right to treat him like he was an animal, and especially when he was crying out saying, "I cannot breathe."
Yeah.
What person does not understand that? You do not need to be a police officer if you do not understand that when a person says, "I can't breathe," and they're bleeding, that you would at least, y'all, hey, let's get him up off of the ground. That's what they should have said.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he can't breathe. At least one of them should have said, "Hey, let's stand him up."
Mm-hmm.
He's in handcuffs. Let's stand him up. Man, I can't. I can't.
Cassandra, it doesn't make sense.
I can't.
It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Christy, what's on your heart?
I was sitting here thinking, I don't know, and I probably would tell my age, but I want to say, do y'all remember in Los Angeles, California, Rodney King?
Mm-hmm.
And the vandalism and the amount of thing that happened because of the race stress, because of so many people were getting off from judges because they were harming us. And I was a kid then during that time, and I didn't understand it. I was looking at it, and I saw Rodney King get beaten out of the truck.
Smooth Entertainment.
To me,
at the tone.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's been some years back.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like nothing has stopped. It's the same rigmarole. It's the same. I mean, out of all the people that have died at the police hands, I think over the years it's only been 3 convictions, if I'm not mistaken. 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so many that we forget because it's so many in each year.
Yeah.
Like I would wonder, like, how many African Americans have died at the hands of a racial attack in just 2020, and 2020 ain't been here that long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only that, it's the things that happen after that. So there were different cases where children was in the car and watched a police officer kill the dad. There was another where a woman, a child watched the police drag her mom out of the car and beat her. And these children suffered PTSD.
Yeah.
And it changed their whole life. One child was supposed to, or was on the track to going to medical school or doing it, and turned out that she dropped out of school, had some babies. Y'all, to actually be there in person, like I couldn't stand it to watch it on the video. But can you imagine standing there, watching, not able to do nothing, how that would just act upon your human being, like everything, and you gonna suffer some kind of something watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't understand how in your mind you can justify murder that's so heartless and cold.
Exactly. Let me do this. We have another caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
DJ K Rock.
DJ, hold on. Now, the world renowned DJ K Rock. Tell everybody who you are, brother.
One of hip hop's legendary DJs.
Yes, sir.
Been in the game over 30 years.
Yes, sir.
Still out here grinding, still out here touring. But the whole world is shut down right now, so we cannot do what we need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But just chiming in on your show today, and the world is really corrupt right now.
Yeah.
And something needs to be done with these cops, because they're getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they have a gun and a badge and they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. It's just really, it's becoming sad. The whole world is sad right now.
Yeah.
So what do we do about it? Do we hire people to watch cops? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do we fight back and possibly, lose our job, lose our, life? Do we sit back and just sit there and just film stuff and don't do anything?
Mm-hmm.
But thank God for people that are getting a chance to film things, because if they didn't film it, how would they know what happened?
Exactly.
Because again, it would have been swept under the rug as, oh, they got out of line. They tried to fight back or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what's getting ready to happen? They're going to pass a law to where that we can't record them. And once they pass that law, if they try to do that, then it's no stopping them.
Yeah. The floodgates gonna open
So,
up. At that point, the floodgates gonna open up.
Exactly. Because how many other deaths by police that hasn't been recorded that the people don't know about,
Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the thing I was talking earlier about, how we stood around, and I say we, certainly I wasn't there, but we stood around and videoed the whole situation until the man died, until you got an over 200-pound man with his knee on somebody's neck, just laying face down in handcuffs. At what point? Go ahead, K-Rock.
The thing about it is, we can stand there and record, but if we try to help, what happens? The same thing that happened to us. So there's nothing that we can do but to sit there and record, and hopefully that there'll be some type of justice later. And and so happens, they suspend them, but are they still paying them? And then what happens? They get acquitted.
Yeah.
So we recorded a situation, but they still get off. So what do we do at this point? We have to figure out how can we help our peoples that's really, we actually looking at them dying. We have to step in some type of way. We have to do something, because that man, that Minneapolis police officer did not have any remorse.
None.
He didn't care.
None.
He, and then I didn't know. I saw it like 2 days ago. I didn't know that there was 2 other cops on the other side of the car that was holding him down, and he was handcuffed.
Yeah.
So he was sitting. He was kneeling down on his neck with his hands in his pocket with no remorse.
And the majority of the weight, if you know anything about how weight shift, all of his weight was on the knee that was on back of his neck. That's what his weight was comfortable. And so he was putting all his 200 some pounds on the back of that man's neck. If you know anything about how weight shift, go ahead.
Yeah, he was stopping blood flow.
Yeah.
That's why he was probably bleeding out of his nose, because, he was shutting down. He was basically telling you, look, I can't do it no more. I'm shutting down.
Yeah.
The Asian guy was standing there with no remorse. The guy with his knee on his neck, no remorse. And even when they called the paramedics to come and take his post, he still did not get off his neck.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, he stayed right there. And so to me, and you could dress it up any way you want to dress it up. To me, that was murder. That was absolute murder. Let me play this. I got this clip right here. I pulled up this clip. I'm gonna play this clip real quickly. And I have not heard the clip already, so I don't know what they're gonna say. But I want to hear. This is from the mayor from Minneapolis. Let's hear what he says.
Yeah, I want that too.
For the better part of the night, I've been trying to find the words to describe what happened. And all I keep coming back to is that he should not have died. What we saw was horrible, completely and utterly messed up. Being Black in America should not be a death sentence.
Now, there is body camera footage that...
Okay. Cassandra, what's on your heart now that you've heard that and what the mayor of Minneapolis said? What's on your heart, Cassandra?
Oh, I saw him. I saw that interview, and he was distraught. He really, you could feel that it was like, what the hell? What just happened in my city? What just happened? And you could tell he was being sincere. He was being sincere. So this is what I always say. There have always been white people that stood, I don't care how far back you did, all of them are not anti-Black. So I want to always remember that, because they categorize us, all Black people are this, all Black people are that. I never put people in a box. You understand what I'm saying? So this man was sincere in what he said. That's why the firing came so quickly. And now I believe that there will be murder charge. And like I said, The other
And there
officers
should
were
be.
ignorant and derelict in their duties. They were derelict in their duties. But I believe that the one who put his foot on that man's neck with his hand, so cavalier and arrogant, in his pocket, like, I got this. I got this nigga under control. Because essentially, that's what he might as well have said it out of his mouth. I got this nigga under control. He needs to be charged with murder.
Well,
Point
I'm gonna
blank,
tell you
bottom
something,
line,
Sandra.
just like Aubrey.
Honestly speaking, from where I'm sitting, there were 4 officers there. All 4 of them need to be incarcerated.
All of them.
All 4 of them.
Yeah.
Because you cannot tell me
Yeah.
that you're gonna sit here and watch this man and not know that it's wrong. You cannot tell me that you did not know that was wrong for this man to have his knee on that man's neck for that amount of time, him being well over 200 pounds. What are you trying to do? What do you think the result is going to be? What do you think the result's going to be?
Yeah.
What is the result?
Yeah. But I can tell you, they are not going to charge all of them with murder. The one who had his neck, they are not going to charge all of them with murder. They've already fired them. Now they may bring them up on something else, but they are not going to. I can promise you that. Now the one who had his foot on his neck, yes, I believe they will end up charging him with murder. And a hate. Well, they were going to charge him with a hate crime.
That was accessory. They were accessory to a crime. Then they charge them with something. They have to They have to be locked up.
Yeah,
they're accessory. They're accessory.
They're not going to. They're not going to. We can write it down that I shared it today.
Okay.
They're not going to charge the other 3.
You don't think it could be accessory to murder?
No. They're not going. I'm telling you, they will not charge the other 3. Now they will get that one, I believe, because it's so blatant. The other ones, they're going to say they did not put their hands on him at the time of the murder, blah 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 blah. But the other 3, they're not going to be charged. They've already been fired, and that's about all we're going to get.
I'm gonna tell you something. In I know in South Carolina they got hand of one, hand of all. Hand of one is the hand of all. So all of them would in South Carolina, all of them will be charged because that's the law that they have there. I don't know if they have that in Minnesota, Minneapolis, or not. But if they do, the hand of one is the hand of all. If you're there and you're a part of the crime, then whether you committed it or not, whether you pulled the trigger or not, you are a murderer. Absolutely. And at this point, his knee was the murder weapon. We got another caller. What's your yes, sir?
The other 2 on the other side of that car, they have to be accountable.
Yeah,
because they were holding him down. They were also putting their knees on him as well. He was handcuffed. He could not move.
Hold on now. You said the other 2 had hold on. You said the other 2 had the knee on him too.
Yeah, they was all on him. Both of them, the other 2. If you look at the pictures, man, they were all on him around the car. See, those pictures are starting to float up. They're starting to come around.
Yeah, okay.
You know, there was 2 more officers holding him down while he was handcuffed. The Asian guy was standing there trying to make sure nobody approaches the guy that had the officer that had his knee on his neck. So he is the one that's probably just going to be fired. But they all have how can you sit there, know he's killing this guy, and not as an officer say, look, let up off of him. Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know what you're doing. So therefore, you have to take some type of accountable for it. And they have to charge those other 2 that was also on top of him. The Asian guy, he'll probably get 5, walk away. But those other 3, they got to be charged. Yeah, they got to.
Exactly. We got another caller.
But they've all been fired. Let's make this clear. They've all been fired. All 4.
Oh yeah. All of them are fired already. Yeah, all of them are fired already. But now the legal has to step in. Hold on 1 second, everybody. We had another caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Frank. I'm calling from Detroit.
Frank, what's going on? Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good deal.
How's everybody?
Hey, doing good. We're talking about too many tears, and when is enough? And we're specifically talking about, we just had the Aubrey situation, hadn't got over that. The wound is still fresh. Now you have the situation in Minneapolis and Minnesota, where this well over 200-pound man had a police officer had his knee on this man's back that was handcuffed face down on the ground. Now the guy's dead. Frank, when is enough?
It's been enough, Raheem. The thing that is so confusing to me is that how quick, whether there's a decision in the officer's favor or there's a decision to prosecute the officer, how quick we move past the justice system. When you shoot somebody dead on camera and it takes them 3 to 4 months to arrest you, something's wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
Okay, you got fired for murdering this guy, but okay, when we look at what you did, you have to defend yourself. Why are you still walking around? But I don't want to get I don't want to get stuck there. But the thing that is so confusing to me is that we see these stories and we move away from them way too quick when the results shows how broken this system is.
Exactly.
And we really need to be doing something about this, like right now, and probably for the next 5 years. And to me, Raheem, this is just my opinion. We got to get rid of some of these judges. We got to get rid of some of these prosecutors. We got to look at people's track record and say, okay, you sat on this case. All the evidence pointed towards this person to go to jail, and you freed them. Why? And we have to go after these people and get these people disbarred, get these people removed, and until we begin to start holding people accountable, because you never get what you inspect, you get what you expect. I'm sorry, you don't get what you expect, you get what you inspect. So we are going to have to begin to look at what's going on and really do something about it. Or all we're going to do is talk.
I keep saying, hello there, Frank. I keep saying that I don't know if you recall seeing it. This is Anna. I don't know if you recall seeing it on the news a few years back, what us fellow citizen Puerto Ricans did in Puerto Rico. We went ahead and we did not leave the mansion, the governor's mansion, until he resigned. And until something like that happens, and it's what I keep saying, this is not going to change, because it seems like, and I don't know, maybe you can agree with me or maybe disagree, that, okay, so it'll be on the news for a while. We're angry for a while.
Yeah.
Or we might still be angry, and then we forget.
Yep.
Or it's not that we forget, it just leaves the news out of sight, out of mind, because it's not a top story anymore. We cannot sit here and continue this. What do you think about that, Frank?
I agree with you 100%. And not only do I agree with you there, but we have to begin to come together and agree with that okay, these things are wrong. Not come together. You put Anna, Frank, Raheem, Curtis, and some other people in a room, and we're gonna argue about who's going to head this, how the money's going to come in. We got to stop doing that. We have to begin to agree that we have a common enemy.
Absolutely.
And the enemy is the establishment that is killing us, that are killing people, that are running jails like Fortune 500 companies and looking at the people as commodities. And we have to do something about it. We have to learn how to have conversation and come to conclusions. Come to, not just have a big talk and nothing comes out of it. That's just a waste of time. That's fluff. to seriously sit down and say, let's pull some people together that can make a difference. And then let's make a difference. And then let's continue to make a difference. But don't allow, that's the difference between our generation and our grandparents.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And K-Rock, I just saw that that picture you was talking about. And yeah, from the angle that from the back view angle, there are two other officers that that's actually holding this guy down. There's one officer that I saw with his knee on his neck, but I didn't see the other. I didn't see the other two. I didn't see the other two, man. So you're absolutely right.
You will see more pictures probably today floating around, because I didn't see that until like a day or two later. That, you know, I thought it was just that one man, you know, with his knee down, but it wasn't. You know, so therefore, they all have to, you know, be accountable for his death.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And the brother is right. We have to figure out something to do, and we need to do it now. We have enough people in place that have power, that has a say-so that can really make a difference, and kind of slow what's going down with the cops, slow what's going down with a lot of other people on killing our brothers and sisters, and, you know, these cops beating up our queens. You know, it has to stop. And if we don't do nothing right now and take a stand and formulate some type of crew of something to really, you know, stomp on everybody to let them know, look, this is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
You know, this is not going to happen no more. You know, now if we reverse the tables and we started doing it to them, then they'll start backing up.
Yeah.
For real. Because we have power and they're scared of us. That's why they're doing what they're doing, because they're very scared of us. White people are scared of us. And we don't even realize that we have power. And if we come together, like everybody else that comes together to make a movement, if we come together as Black folks, man, we can shut down a lot of things.
Why do you think, K-Rock, let me ask you this. Why do you think we're not coming together?
Because we're too busy just doing our own thing. You know, this has been going on for years and years and years, but it has to stop. It has to stop. And we don't have enough people to come together to stop what's going on, because everybody's too busy, you know, worrying about themselves and, oh, I don't want to do that. You know, I might get hurt, or, you know, I might go to jail. But look at everybody else that fought for us to get to this point, you know, to get our freedom, you know, to, you know, how many people have died to make a difference, you know. And that's the thing. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to get arrested. But you don't even have to, you know, right now times is way different than 60 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we can really make a stand, and we can stop a lot of this stuff that's happening right now. And nobody has to get hurt.
Cassandra, let me ask you this question, Cassandra. Where is the Harriet Tubman Hearts that says she's gonna go out there and she's gonna get her people, she's gonna free her people, and she's gonna release them from the situations that they're in? Where's the heart? Where's that heart, Cassandra?
Listen, so much of the state, and Steve, I think that's why with me, a lot of people, you know, get I don't know, upset with me because I'm so passionate about what I stand for, because I do the marches, I go to the legislation, I let my voice be heard, and that's just who I am, and that's the type of woman that Harriet Tubman was. If you do your research on her, they did not tell, when they were telling her, Harriet, you can't do this, you can't, she was like, don't tell me what I can't do. God, I have a mandate from God, and that's the way I feel. When I'm standing and I'm marching, or I'm standing before the senators or the legislators saying what I need to say, I am standing as a representative of God, standing for justice, standing for equality. And I will do that till the day I die. And when I march, if something happens, then that's for God, because I'm under his mandate, not under man's mandate. So it comes a time where we have to stand up and say, I'm willing to die for what I believe. And until you get there, that means your passion for whatever you say you believe in is not strong enough.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's where that's where I think we really need to get to. We got to make a stand, man. We got to make a stand. As a matter of fact, if any one of y'all saw the DKM Media Group flag, it says stand for something or get out the way. Stand for something or get out the way, because we're making a move. We're moving forward. And so either you're going to be with us and you're going to make the move with us, or just get out the way. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down. Get you some popcorn.
Look, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
We like I said, we have enough people with power, Black people with power and money. You know, why we can't, why they can't, or why they don't want to come together to really formulate something so powerful that they have no choice but to stop what they're doing. You know, we have more power now than, you know, like I said, 60, 70 years ago. Yeah. You know, and if we come together with this power and this money, they have no choice but to back up. Stop all what they're doing. You know, the marches, don't spend no money, you know, in none of these white stores. You know, we have the power, all the money, the power, the fashion is coming from us. And we have to get to our youth, you know, and teach them a lot better than what we've been doing about, you know, economics, you know, Black, you know, how to speak when you get, you know, stopped by cops. And right now, it doesn't even matter. They get mad at, because you know knowledge, you have more knowledge on a traffic stop, and you have more knowledge on laws. And they get mad and they want to pull you out the car because you know you're right. That has to stop. You know, so you know, right now we have to move forward in this here, and we have to let them know you can't do this no more. And if we let it lie and we don't do anything, a couple of days, a week, it'll be forgotten about. It'll be forgotten about. Nobody, you know, like said, you know, you know. We have to act on it now.
Why?
You know,
and to your point, K-Rock, and to your point, man, how many people are really today have you heard lately talking about Trayvon?
It's faded out.
How many people are talking now? They're starting to talk about Garner again because of this situation here, and it mirrors it where you say I can't breathe. So now people may start talking about him again. But how many people are talking about Bland?
Oh, they started talking about it yesterday on social media. But right now, we need to flood social media, let them know, let people know that we're not going to allow this to happen anymore. We need to flood the streets. We need to be in front of the White House. And we need to write the senators. You know, everybody, you know, we need to do something. We need to get it out. You know, we need to flood everybody with this here to make a stand. Stand for your people. Stand for the people that died for you.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and sorry to cut you off, K-Rock. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I know you're not in Atlanta, but you know you're certainly not too far away as you can't get here. I'm willing, ready, and very able. We have what we need, man. If we want to do like a town hall, we could do a town hall meeting right here, man. Bring the people together. We can start right here. Right here, we have the radio, we got the television network, and we have the magazine. So we can actually start it right here. I mean, if y'all are willing to walk, say it again.
It needs to be started today, yesterday. It needs to start ASAP.
Man, my thing is this right here, man. Let's put the calls in, and we got the people right now that we can actually start this thing. I think we can really start this thing right here at DKM Media Group. We got everything that we need. We have radio, we have television, and we have a magazine. We can do what we need to do to get the word out, get the people involved, bring people together, and let's make this thing a reality. The time of talking, see, and a lot of times what happened, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, this my heart right here. A lot of times we talk about things like this and nobody act on it. I called a couple of people and nobody wanted to really do anything except had a conversation like this. You know, my thing is let's do something, man. let's do something. You know, let's not just talk about it. You know, the talking is good, but let's now. When does the talking stop and the action begin?
It's time to formulate it, put it together.
Hey,
you have so many people that are willing to move forward. You have your white people that want to move forward. They're tired of this
absolutely,
here.
Absolutely.
And you know, you got to look at it back in the days when they was running for their freedom. They came together secretly to figure it out. And what are we going to do to get the hell up out of here? You know, and thank God for the white people that were raised by slaves. You know what I mean? And saw that, hey, black people they're not bad. So when they got older, what did they do? They helped us out. Yep. Those are the ones that helped us get away to make a difference. We need to formulate what we're getting ready to do and make a move on it.
Man, listen,
just go for it.
I'm ready. And like I say, and a lot of times, and Cassandra will actually co-sign with me on this as well. Even during the civil rights movement, there was a lot of our Caucasian brothers and sisters that stood right there with us, man. They stood right there with us. There was a lot of injustice, and a lot of our Caucasian brothers and sisters stood right there in the gap with us. Cassandra, am I right? We got a call or two. We're going to go to the call in just 1 second. Cassandra, are you there?
No, yeah, absolutely they did. And you all through the civil rights movement, when Harry Tubman and others were bringing people from the South, it took white people to help them, to hide them, to give them the trails. You understand what I'm saying? So all along there have been whites that help, and there are still whites that stand and march. And you know, Aubrey last week when I was at the march for Aubrey and with his mom down in Waynesboro, I mean, there were white people there marching always. So I'm not dismissing them coming on, but it takes us to start. It's our fight more than it's anybody else's fight. It's our fight.
Exactly. And my thing is, man, if y'all are willing, man, DKM Media Group, we have 4. Yeah, I see Anna raising her hand. But if y'all are willing to do this, man, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it. We got a place we can actually have everybody meet right here. We can start it right here. We got a place we can seat the people that we need to seat. We can televise it. We can radio, whatever we need to do. But something have to happen. Something have to happen.
Raheem, I'm gonna say this, and then I have to get into work.
Okay.
Look, whatever you need from me.
Yes, sir.
You know, whatever I can do to help. You know, anytime you can call me, and whatever I can do, I can do.
Okay.
But we have to make a move. You know, and we have to come together. You know, and just force these people to stop killing our people.
Let me say
we
this.
Have to force.
Exactly. K-Rock, let me say this without you calling any names, could we get some celebrities involved along with yourself?
I believe at this time, if we do not let this rest, we can get whoever we need, because everybody is tired now. Everybody is tired. And I believe if we reach out to the celebrities with a plan and they see what it is, they will want to step in, contribute, finance, whatever the case may be, or be a voice to this situation.
Okay.
But has to start right now.
Yeah.
And if you don't start it right now, it'll be in the wings and it'll be faded out.
Exactly.
You know, we have all the resources, we have all the power, we have all the people, you know, in place to do what we need to do. But we have to start now.
Yeah.
We have to utilize everybody.
Okay.
Everybody, you know. So with that said, man, just let me know what the deal is. Everybody, God bless everybody. Let's figure out a way to really make a change. And until we all talk again, y'all take care.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna be reaching out to you at some point today or tomorrow. I'll be reaching out to you. But we're gonna make this thing happen.
Okay.
Man. Definitely appreciate you.
Peace.
God bless you, man. Cassandra.
Yes, sir.
Now, first and foremost, I'm asking you the question just because I already know what the answer is, but I'm asking you the question anyway. Are you with us on this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no question. I mean, this is what I do. This is what I live to do. So whatever you guys organize or we organize, I'm all in.
And that's what I was about to say. We organize because I'm gonna be leaning on you a lot because I know you structure a lot of stuff like this all the time. So we're definitely gonna be leaning on you to help us in moving forward with this situation. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Now, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Tucson.
Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? We got a lot going on, man. We're talking about when is enough enough.
Enough, man. You know what kills me is you see it going on and you see who's doing it. But right on the side of them is one of us.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I'm saying? And I'm not, well, I am. But what ticks me off is when you have somebody or someone that's willing to stand up and do, then here comes, and y'all have to excuse me for how I'm gonna say this. This Uncle Tom, Aunt your mama spirit that says, I don't see the problem. These see, for instance, and all if you one of you listening, these pastors that's hanging around talking about President Trump, and they want to lay hands on him because he got the Spirit of God. He like praises all get out. That's the kind of mess.
Hold on, caller.
All right. That's the kind of mess that sets us back when we try to go forward. Because they stand in and they think they act like they're representing God. When I don't know, I see the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear to me. Because anytime the head of a country, the head of a nation, or whatever you want to call it, speaks out and says stupid stuff like he does, it motivates stuff that has been dormant for a while. Hadn't gone nowhere because nobody's stupid. You can take the sheet off and put a uniform on anything.
Yeah.
But then you get those that are supposedly prominent, especially what is representing the church, and then you stand behind that and cheer it on. It just makes me sick.
Exactly. We are Anna, you have something you want to read, and we got a caller. We're going to go to the call in just 1 second. So caller, please hold on. Go ahead, Anna.
Okay, so I'm glad that Donald Toussaint was saying that, because I've had this up for a while and I wanted to read this. Remember, this is an election year. I'm not telling you which way to vote, but this is from Joe Biden. George Floyd deserved better, and his family deserves justice. His life mattered. I'm grateful for the swift action in Minneapolis to fire the officers involved. They must be held responsible for their egregious actions. The FBI should conduct a thorough investigation. With that being said, remember it's an election year. Remember it starts from the top. Certain things I don't agree with certain, candidates, but at least anything right now is better than what we have. So just keep that in mind, because it is an election year, especially this year. We can make some changes. And again, I'll repeat, in numbers.
Absolutely.
We're not doing it in numbers. It's not going to happen. So let's stick together.
That's right. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Antoine Sela calling.
Hey, Antoine, how you doing, sir?
And I'm calling from here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Good deal. Antoine, we're talking about the situation that happened. Our topic today, normally we want to have a topic on our Wednesday, but we wanted to tackle this one today. We're talking about too many tears and when is enough about the situation. We just had the Antoine situation, and now we have the situation that just happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the officer, and I saw the picture. I thought it was just one officer with with his knee on him, but there was actually a couple of officers that was actually holding this guy down. He was saying that he cannot breathe, and he was, he was begging for his life, calling out to his mother that has been deceased for a minute, and telling her, "Mama, I can't breathe," and he was yelling out to his mother. Brother, what's on your heart?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to see that. Me, I'm a black man, and I've been a police officer for 10 years, and I can tell you right now, that was probably the worst act of inhumane murder that I've seen in my entire 10 years of service. And the main thing that I want to put out there is, yes, what they did was absolutely horrible, but I guarantee you every police officer out there does not have those same viewpoints or acknowledges or condones that type of that murder that occurred. It broke my heart to see it. I could barely sleep last night after watching that. And I see the violent protests going on. Of course, I'm not one to say that violent protest is something that should occur. But I can't tell you that I don't understand where they're coming from out there in the community. There's been several cases, and I typically don't comment on cases, especially while it's pending investigation. But this one right here was brutal, and there's nothing that can be said about it that those officers did. They actually allowed him to suffer for over 10 minutes until he died. And there was no act of and I must say we're not trained to act in those type of ways at all. No police department has those types of training. But the main thing I always try to push out to people is there's about 750,000 police officers in the country. And out of 750,000 police officers, you're going to have those few bad apples that, slips through the cracks. And there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. The protests are good. But I think the main thing that we need to focus on is making sure that they be brought to justice. I do commend the police chief and the mayor for their swift action and firing them. And a lot of people are saying, well, why aren't they charged? And I can tell you now, I'm pretty much 99.9% confident they're going to be charged. But there's a process when they do these things. They got to fire them first, and then they a lot of times they move it over to the DA's office, and then that's when they start indicting them and bringing charges to them. But I don't see them just walking away with a pink slip and then going on to another career.
Exactly.
I'm pretty confident they're going to get criminal charges, because just looking at that video, there's nothing that I could say or any police officer could say that would justify the actions of those officers. Those officers.
And I'm gonna say this to you, brother, and I definitely appreciate you calling in, and man, that you would take the time and call in and comment, man. That says a lot, and we do know, we understand that not all police officers are bad. Not all police officers are corrupt. Not all police officers are doing it for the wrong reason. There are some great people out there like yourself, man. And it's a compliment. And I hope you take this to heart, man, that you're doing the right thing. We definitely appreciate you, man. We honor you, man. Thank you for the stand that you take and the man that God made you to be. Continue, don't change, brother. Keep doing like you're doing now. Other side of the coin, man. What about the officer? Let me ask you this question. What about the officers that was actually just standing there? There was 3 that was holding them down, but there was one, I don't know if he's the Oriental officer, that was just pretty much just standing there holding people off. Is he going to be charged as well?
I could see charges being brought against him. I don't know exactly how that is going to play out in court. It's just going to be a matter of how the court system works. But I do believe that he's just as guilty as the officer that put his knee in his neck, because I even saw the people, I watched the whole video, at least 10 minutes of it. And I saw the crowd was even trying to intervene.
Yes.
And they were being stopped. So yes, he's definitely just as guilty, I would say, as the officer. Just like, when you think about it, officers, we charge people that are a part of a crime. If somebody robs the bank and there's somebody sitting in the getaway car, we're going to charge the person with the getaway car with armed robbery, just like we would the person that went in there with the gun.
Exactly.
So this is, to me, it's no different than this. This guy was, he assisted in a sense, this murder to be taking place. And so I think that everybody that was, and that's why, they said there's 4 officers involved. I didn't see 4 officers, but, I say at least the chief did the right thing initially. So that gives me some confidence that they're gonna investigate this all the way through, and they're even looking at the FBI, which is, an outside agency to investigate, which is good. So I think the chief is doing a good thing. Initially, he's really jumped on it pretty quick. A lot of times, as we all know, most of the times, officers are placed on administrative leave, and so they're still working, pending investigation. But the chief made a swift action to terminate them, and I guarantee you, there's probably going to be charges that's going to be brought forth
because because there's no place for that type action in law enforcement. There's no place for that. There is no place for that.
Right.
It's crazy. And one of the things I want to go to we got a couple of calls. I want to go to them as well. But one of the things that I really appreciate in your description when you first came on, you said this murder. You say, this murder that they committed, and you didn't try to dress up anything. You came straight. This was a murder. Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Antoine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched the video, there's been countless of officer involved shootings or killings where officer might have acted swiftly, quickly, and shot somebody. I don't know what was going on in some of those officers' minds. Some of them were maybe afraid. Some of them didn't think. But this right here was a case of, you got people telling the officer, look, he's asking you to please get off his neck.
Yeah.
And then he's saying, okay, look, his nose is bleeding now. Okay, look, he's now unresponsive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're actually communicating what's going on with this victim. And I call him a victim because that's exactly what he was.
Yes.
He was a victim of this situation. And even through all of that, they never even attempted to check his well-being, to check his pulse, to render aid, like we're all trained to do and also while he's handcuffed. So he was already detained and restrained. So there was absolutely no reason to hold your knee on someone's neck for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Absolutely no reason. Nobody is ever trained to do that in law enforcement.
And a man of this size, he was well over 200 and some pounds, man. He wasn't a small guy. He wasn't a small guy at all. Frank, what's on your heart, brother? Frank, you there?
Man, I thank God for that caller, man, because I think once again it puts everything into perspective that sometimes we see something as heinous as this happen, and we want to be mad at everybody. When in all actuality, there are pockets of corruption in everything. And we have to focus on those people that are guilty. And the people that did this, and the people that played a part in this and a role in this, and the people that didn't step forward and say, please, you're killing this guy, they're guilty. But this call that we just received, man, it shows you, because it took a lot for this gentleman to even call.
Yes, absolutely.
To say that, look, this is who I am, and this is how I see it. And yes, there's something wrong with this. He didn't have to take the time out of his day to do that.
No, not at all. And I'm gonna tell you something. But we definitely appreciate it. Go ahead, Frank.
No, okay. But the thing that I want to say, along with anything, then education needs to take place, because the one thing that we just take for granted is that even the people that are committing some of these acts are just evil. Some of these people are just ignorant.
Yeah.
you know, and they have come from bad teaching. They've come out of hurt, and there needs to be some education that goes out there. And like right now with the administration that we're sitting under right now, they don't realize that the people, the white supremacists and the people that are going to these rallies and saying that we support this and we support that, they don't realize how they're being used and manipulated. This is ignorant. They don't realize it. They don't realize that this is about money. At the end of the day, when they talk about the 1%ers, they truly mean 1% of the population that controls everything is going to benefit from what is going on. Trillions of dollars. So a lot of people, if they were educated and understood what was really going on, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to be quiet. You had the judge there, I believe his first name was Roy, that was so bad that they barred him from the malls.
Yeah.
Because he was
there's an Alabama, I believe it was.
A pedophile.
I think there was in Alabama or Mississippi, one of those two. I think it was Alabama.
Yeah, he was a pedophile. And he was going after young white women, young white girls, and molesting them. But this administration wanted him in the White House. Do you see now? He wasn't raping young black girls. He was raping young white girls. Do you see how the 1%ers, because they had an agenda, turned on white people when they began to go after him? Turned on those young white girls and began to call them all kind of names. They began to get death threats, everything, because in their eyes, it's the agenda. It's the money. And if I have to discredit you, if I have to humiliate you, if I have to ruin your career and your family, if we have to kill you, we will do it if you get in the way of what we're doing.
Cassandra, what's on your heart? Because that's a lot right there. That's a lot. What's on your heart, Cassandra?
Yeah, I mean, we all watched that scenario play out with this gentleman in the system, how the system works, and that's why we have to make the money talks. Frank is right. The money talks. When you hit 1%ers in their pocket or you threaten that, they take action against, I don't care who it is, they're going to take action. But they have to feel like their money is threatened in order for them to do anything. They have to feel like their money is threatened. And with the money that African Americans put in this country, and people of color put in this country, we could literally shut this thing down if we use our dollars. We don't have to use violence necessarily. We need to use our dollars.
Yes.
We need to, and let me say to the young man that the police officer, thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely.
When you said that you were a police officer, literally tears started welling up in my eyes, because I realized that you put your lives on the line every day to protect me, my family, my community, and we appreciate that. So we're not saying, and we know, I mean, we're intelligent people. We know that not all police officers are rogue, are doing the crazy stuff, but that small percentage. And you're right. It's no way to you can't detect what's in a man's heart. Only God knows what's in a man's heart. But so some do slip through the cracks. But thank you for standing. Thank you for calling in. We greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we have a couple other callers. We have a caller from the 256 area code. 256 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Rico Jackson, calling from Anderson, Alabama. How are y'all doing?
Rico, what's going on, man? How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. I can't sleep. I'm disturbed once again by another visual of us being massacred in public. And I'm disturbed. I'm confused by the psychology, the mind state of human beings. Like I'm distraught because I can't believe that human beings will put on that uniform and forget that they are still human. I can't understand how one cop or 2 or 3 cops can hear a man say, "I can't breathe," and they still keep him pinned down with his hands behind his back, knowing that that's restricting his breathing. And on top of it, watch another man with his knee on his neck, and they sit back and watch it. What? I can't understand the mind state of the public to look at that uniform and let that prevent them from just rushing and knocking that man off of his neck.
That's what I said earlier.
Because had he not had a uniform on, somebody would have stepped in. So I believe in all the hitting people in the pocket stuff, and I believe in all that. But somewhere we got to sit down and understand how deeply programmed we are with fear and favor. That once that man, that human being puts that uniform on, and he loses his empathy, he loses his model to protect and serve. The public should understand that he is still a human being. That uniform doesn't put a shield around him. Maybe the law does because he puts that shield around him. But I say this all the time. There are more people than there are policemen. And if they get wrong, somewhere the community got to start standing up, because we've been going through this since Emmett Till. We've been going through this since Michael Donald, since Rodney King, just like decade after decade after decade of us just sitting here boohooing and crying, instead of just going through the community and trying to wake up everybody to get them to understand these are human beings in these uniforms. If they don't act accordingly, we have to make them act accordingly when they come to our neighborhood.
Exactly. That's good. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is David Ali.
Hey, David, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, doing good. Man, you've been listening to the conversation for a minute, brother. What's on your heart right now?
Yeah, just about 60 seconds. Sorry, I got in a little late. Thanks for hitting me up to remind me of this call. And I really appreciate you being available to the public in many, many states. I see people calling in from around the country.
Yes, sir.
And this is a much needed conversation. It's good that everybody is talking about it. And especially, I heard that there were an officer, and I'm sure there are more officers who may be listening in and contributing and concerned about this thing as well. The problem is, there is one of the problems is we have a lot of good officers who have to be silent for whatever reason. They have to be silent out of fear, I believe, because if there was no fear, then the good officers would deal with the bad officers, because it seems like that would be the responsibility of the officer to protect and serve the public in its entirety, no matter who is the threat to the public. And that's what a lot of people inside there are waiting on. We're looking for that. We're looking for who's the Superman in blue that's going to come and save the day and come and represent what a real police officer is supposed to be, in spite of the foolishnness and the mindset of the ones that are on the in the precinct doing.
Hey, David, let me ask you why David, let me ask you this: why do you say they have to be silent because of fear? You think there's an internal intimidation that goes on, where if they say something, they're going to be this or that, or harmed, or whatever the case?
Well, I believe sometimes that may be the case, but sometimes people have a fear without any justification, just because it's just a natural thing for people to have. It could be completely, like Will Smith says, he says, danger is real, but fear is a choice. And sometimes we walk out into the world and we are just fearful for no other reason for the fact that we just think that something is going to happen if we do something. We think something's going to happen if we say something. You know, I'm sure all the people that were around, all the cops that were there, were not all bad cops. I mean, I didn't see this video that's circulating on the internet because I try not to watch these things. I don't want that to, you know, I know what's going on. You know, I've been there. I had a shotgun. I've had a shotgun pointed at my head before at the age of 18. You know, for no other reason. You know, we're sitting in the drive-through at Burger King, coming from a party, 18 years old, Lorain, Ohio. You know, so I've been there. I don't want to see it. But the other thing is, you know, to answer your questions, you know, I just think that people naturally walk around in a state of fear, and people take advantage of that. People who are the aggressor, like the lions and the tigers in the wilderness and all this stuff, they take advantage of the fear of the zebra. Of the thing that they're going to attack. That is a useful tactic to control the thing that they want to dominate.
That's good. Right? That's good.
And so these officers who are in blue, some of them get their training at night at the Ku Klux Klan meetings. You know, I mean, I just saw a YouTube video of a TED Talk, and I'm gonna forward it to you, brother, so you can have a conversation about this. There was a black musician who learned about racism at the age of 10 from his parents. You know, he just got, you know, the shock of his life, and they had to sit him down and tell him about it. This is back in the 50s. And he spent his life trying to figure out, what is this racism? Why does it exist? And it led him all the way to have, years later, to have a relationship so strong with the grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan that they ended up on CNN. And I wish I remembered his name, but I'm going to forward you the information.
Okay, yeah, get that to me. I'll definitely love to take a look at that. Hold on one second, brother. Let me
for a solution. I'm sorry, real quick. So let me throw a solution out there. You mind if I give a website out?
Oh no. What's the website?
So write down this website, themanofjustice.com. Themanofjustice.com. Okay. So everybody write that down. So here's the thing. What I do on a day-to-day basis is I put justice in people's hands. The color of justice is not black or white. The color of justice is green. You got to pay for it. Just like you had to pay to be free from slavery, you have to pay for the justice that you seek in America. You need access to your rights. We have all these rights, but you don't have access to it. So I work with the company, and that's what we do. We put justice in people's hands. We got something that I needed when I was 18 years old with that shotgun pointed at my head. I needed 24-hour access to an attorney. And so that's what we provide at that website. You can have that. And it's been around for 47 years.
Okay, good, brother.
47 years.
Okay, but good. Let me do this, brother. We got another call. I want to see who this caller is and where he's calling from. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, this is Richard Graves. I'm from Chicago.
Richard, hey, Richard, how you doing, man?
What up? How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Richard, we're talking about too many tears. When is enough? And we're talking about the situation that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the police officers, I now realize that there was actually 3 police officers holding them down, but one had his knee in back of his neck, held it there. This guy's well over 200 pounds, held him there with his knee on his back for well over 10 minutes until he lost consciousness. People telling him that, you know, let him up, man. Now his nose is breathing. He's not breathing anymore. He's lost, and he didn't get up until the ambulance actually came, and then he got up and they moved his lifeless body onto the gurney. Man, when is enough?
Well, honestly, brother, we should have had enough with Trayvon Martin. Even though Trayvon Martin was not technically killed by a police officer, we should have enough back then. You know, I've always told you that I grow wary of all the prayer visuals and, you know, all the hashtag movements, the I Can't Breathe, the Black Lives Matter, pardon my language, because it's all bullshit. Because ultimately, nothing changes until we do one very simple thing when it comes to that, and that is hold the institutions and the system accountable. And we only can hold that accountable by holding the people that we elect accountable. And as long as we keep electing people, I don't care if they're Democrats, Republicans, Green Party, Independents, whatever. As long as we keep voting people in that we demand nothing from, and keep giving them our votes no matter what. But guess what? We always end up with the same income, the same outcome. The definition of insanity: do the same thing and expect different results. Now, one thing I can say for the people in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, what I saw when I saw them protesting, which I think protesting is useless, but I will give them credit for this one thing. All right. Instead of tearing up their own neighborhood, they was tearing up police cars. And, I'm a member of the Fraternal Order of Police. And I was, do I agree with them tearing up police cars, throwing eggs and stuff at the police department? No, I don't agree with it, but I understand it. And I understand that a lot more than burning up your own neighborhood and tearing up your own system. So I'm like, okay, at least you direct your anger in the right direction. Now, but I think it could be directed a little bit more productively, yes. All right. However, I do understand with everything that's been going on over the last 10 years and watching all these things happen, why the general population at a point where they like, we ain't taking it no more. And I've warned people in the Fraternal Order of Police. I've constantly said here in Chicago, look, there's only so long that you keep doing this type of stuff that eventually it's going to become very dangerous to be a person in uniform. Because of if you keep glossing over every time a Laquan McDonald happens, every time something like this happens, Mr. Castillo down there, anytime this happens, you keep glossing this over, there's always going to be a breaking point. And I'm letting people, and people act like there ain't going to be one. But there is going to be one.
Exactly.
I don't want that to happen. As an officer, I don't want to see any other officer get killed because of some dumb stuff something like this. Somebody who doesn't do that, somebody who actually took the job to try to help people, get hurt because of some dumb stuff that we keep allowing because we don't change the fundamental culture of police. And that's what has to happen.
Exactly.
That's why I tell every black boy in Chicago, keep your record clean, become a cop. All right? Become a cop. The only way that is if more black faces are present, and even if more black faces are present, you still need for the general public to hold people accountable. When something like this happens, it's not just these cops going to jail. It's not just nobody getting fired. It's to vote the damn mayor out. And to the new mayor you elect, you tell him you want a different police chief, kick him out too. And if you do that in the times, that people realize they got to respect your community, and they got to respect your community when they deal with your community. Because I watched the video.
Okay. Hey, Richard, hold on.
Reason for the.
Richard, hold on for a second, but I got to hold on for a second. I got to keep it going. I got quite a few callers on here. I want to go to Anna, and Richard, I definitely appreciate you, brother, and to think that and knowing that you're a part of the fraternity of the police officers and that you have this stance, brother, I definitely appreciate and respect that. Anna, what's on your heart? Come, and Cassandra, going to you next. Unmute, Anna. Unmute. Go ahead.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, first I want to say to the police officers or anybody involved with law enforcement, thank you for your efforts and thank you for everything that you do, sacrificing your lives for us. And thank you for the ones that are on the right side of the law. We really appreciate you, are our heroes, okay? With that, I want to say the caller before, I didn't get his name, I'm sorry. What he said, I totally agree with. Until we vote these people, we make these changes, we do these changes, nothing's gonna happen, okay? Do what you have to do for our people. And it's our brown and black community because we're very much attacked. These cases in particular, we're talking about the incident that just happened in Minneapolis. Okay, I had written something that I wanted to bring to everybody's mind, and it's something for you guys to think about. And it was kind of briefly mentioned, I think, by Frank a little bit earlier. How many other people have died, and it has been covered up by a false statement by our law enforcement officers? There was no camera to help that person. A mother lost their child. And just something for you guys to think about. A father lost their child. How many women, you know, and I know you guys remember me talking about this story. I was on my way down south to Florida. I got pulled over in the Florida-Georgia line for no reason. Police officer makes me get out of the car. I have a disabled teenager. I didn't want to cause a commotion because it might cause him to have a meltdown. The police officer stares me up and down in the most disgusting manner and turns around and tells me, I'm just going to give you a warning, when he knows I didn't do anything. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing anything. He just saw a Puerto Rican flag, I'm going to say how it is, in a sports car. And that is the kind of America we live in. That it was the worst feeling as a woman, as a minority woman, as a Latina, to feel from somebody who you're supposed to respect because of their job. And again, it's not all of them. I've had some of the coolest officers come here and do wonderful things for my disabled child. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all of them. I've interviewed some amazing, right, Raheem? Some amazing law enforcement officers, sheriffs. So, you know, for me, it's not that. It's those bad apples that we need. We need to do something. I don't know if maybe there needs to be some type of mental evaluation, something new that they're doing, because I don't think anything in my job can make me that angry to where I do what he did or what they did. Because all of them are guilty. If you're accessory, and I like what the officer said before, even if you were just standing there, because if any of us committed a crime, all of us would be responsible just the same. In different, it may be in different, what do you call this, lines, but we would all be responsible the same.
Good. Cassandra, what's on your heart right now?
Okay, really quickly, I want to bring on. You know that I'm big with justice and civil and human rights. I'm going to ask my friend Claudia Lacey, who is the mother of Lennon Lacey, the kid that was lynched in Bradenton, North Carolina. There was law in 2014, and who's a part of the documentary that won at Sundance that I'm a part of. And I'm going to see if I can get her to come on and talk about what that has been like to know that your child was lynched and them trying to tell you the officers didn't even do an investigation. It wasn't even an investigation.
Wow.
Based on what they did. And I really would like for you guys to hear the heart of a mother that has lost their child to something like this and got no help from law enforcement at all. So I'm going to ask her, I'm going to call her today and ask her possibly if she could come on in the morning with us.
Absolutely. We love to have her. We definitely love to have her. There's some, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Billy Boyd Thompson. I'm in Oxford, Georgia.
Billy?
Yes.
Hey, Billy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. We're talking about too many tears. When is enough enough? What's on your heart right now?
Enough was enough for me yesterday. It's been enough. But yesterday when I saw the video and read the article, and everything in me moved, because watching that cop with his knee intentionally on that man's neck and pressing it and sitting there with his hands in his pocket. It's time for us to stop as Black people saying, the Lord knows, the Lord sees, he'll get his reward in due season. No, Jesus left us here to do the greater work, and the greater work happens when we start doing something about how we're being treated, how Black, brown people are being treated in the United States of America.
And see, it's been going on for so long now, Billy. It's been going on for a long time, and somebody said it should have stopped with Trayvon when the Trayvon situation, but it actually has gone on a lot more even before that point. How many of our mothers is going to have to stand over coffins and drop tears on their dead children while the children are laying there dead by people that's supposed to protect and serve us? Billy, this is not supposed to be this way. What's on your heart, Billy? Billy, are you there?
I'm here. It is not supposed to be this way. And I posted yesterday on Facebook, and I put another post out there this morning. This is just really not settling well with me. And because here's the thing, yesterday 4 policemen were fired. They were fired, but they were fired for murder, and they got to go home and eat dinner with their families.
Yes.
George Floyd did not get to go home. Tamir Rice did not get to go home. Freddie Gray did not get to go home. And this just should not be happening. They got to go home and eat dinner. They got to go home and take a shower, rest in their beds, and having dreams of, killing a black man, watching him die, essentially watching him die. And then they woke up this morning and they are still free. This stuff has been going on for years and years and years, Jim Crow and everything else. It's been going on. It's been going on too long.
Yes.
And the only reason that it's really being highlighted and exposed now is because we have cameras. Everybody has a cell phone with a camera on it, and they're being exposed. So exposing them, and then nobody holding them accountable for action it defeats the purpose of being able to expose them for this evil wretchedness that they continue to do.
Exactly. And I want to reiterate, and we got another caller. We're gonna go to that caller as well. But I want to reiterate, we're looking to do in the next few days, next month, maybe next month, we got to organize and get it together. And Cassandra and I and a few other people, Anna and a few other people, we're gonna work on this thing. But we're gonna do a town hall meeting over here at DKM Media Group. We're gonna do a town hall meeting, and we'd love for all you all to come out. All y'all to come out in support of this. We're gonna do a town hall meeting, and we're gonna title it Too Many Tears. We're gonna call it Too Many Tears, what we're gonna call it. And we have radio, television, and a magazine. We're gonna utilize all the avenues that we have to get the word out, so people don't have an excuse. They don't have a reason why they can't be a part of it. If they can't make it here to Atlanta, they can go on the radio station. They can listen. We're gonna broadcast live on radio as well as they can go to our television channels. We're gonna broadcast on all of our channels at one time. We're gonna broadcast on all of our channels at one time, so everybody, people, you don't have an excuse not to be a part of this. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Curtis, I know you're there, brother. We're gonna come to you in just one second. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, are you there? May have lost Cassandra. She may have to. Curtis, hey Curtis, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, bro. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing good. Sorry, Cassandra, I'll come right back to you. Curtis, man, we're talking about too many tears. Enough is enough. Now, we just got over we hadn't got over. We're still dealing with the Ahmaud situation. We're still dealing with that situation. Now we have this situation in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Curtis, too many tears, brother. When is enough enough?
Man, bro, I can't even say when is enough enough. But it's been enough for me, man. A long time ago. Before Freddie Gray, before Tyrone West. See, there's one name out there that didn't get too much. Because it wasn't in the news. There's a young man here by the name of Tyrone West. His sister holds West Wednesday every Wednesday on the corner of 33rd and Greenmount Avenue. Her name is Tawana West. He was brutally assassinated by the police department here in Baltimore City. And that was before Freddie Gray. And the cops that, the people that, the men, or the so-called men, or whatever you want to call them, that killed Tyrone West, never was even prosecuted. They never was even brought before the courts to even be investigated. This thing been going on for too long. Let me just say this, man. There's a God, he sets high and he looks low and he ain't pleased. You understand? And my son just called me right while I was talking to you. That's why my phone kind of clicked in and clicked out, because I just shot my son's first video, first music video, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's called Difficult Planet.
And I tell you, we address everything as if to say, man, look, this is what's really going on in America. This is what's really going on in America. So, you know, this whole thing right here it clearly shows us that it's always been, the idea has always been to kill. I mean, this is what it looks like. You would call a spade a spade. Kill Black America. Arrest white America. You know, you look at, if you just look at the results, you know, we had a young man who shot up a school. Excuse me. And they took him to Burger King.
Yeah.
You understand? We got a young Black man who went in the store to get a pack of Skittles. A pack of Skittles and a sweet tea. And they murdered him.
Wow.
Then you say, well, the word is, or the stereotype is, oh, they all carry guns and they all thugs and this, that, and the third. Well, then you got the clear representation of a Black man doing what is legal. Tell the police, hey, look, man, you got a gun on me. I have a concealed carry permit. Where's the gun? The gun is right behind me. I can get it if you want me to. Then the police holler, gun, and shoot him and kill him in front of his daughter. Man, listen.
Exactly. And yeah, it's a lot. It's like, Cassandra, what's on your heart?
So I think that we have hit on something, and as usual, everybody is passionate about, you know, what's happening. We're tired. We want to see change, but I always say we have to be the change that we want to see. That means we have to actively do something to see that this manifests, and not just, you know, talk about it. You know, I get in trouble because I mean, I will go and do something. You know, I don't care if it's 5 of us. You know, we can go down to the state capitol. We can go down to the march in front of the police departments. It is something. It is something. It is saying that we care and we're tired. And so, what the people did in Minneapolis yesterday, I don't condone, you know, tearing up, like the brother said. Don't my grandson next, your daughter, you know, somebody else's, you know, nephew, niece, father. We got to stop it. It is getting really ridiculous right now.
Absolutely. Billy, are you still there? Billy, are you still with us?
Yeah,
Okay. Billy, what's on your heart? What's on your heart right now? Because we're talking about coming together and doing a huge town hall meeting, and maybe not just one time, but several times until we get our point across. What is on your heart concerning that?
That it takes a movement, and it's going to take all of us to move together.
Yes.
And it can't be just Black and brown people, because as we move together as Black and brown people, they ignore us. It needs to be some of our white folks who say that they are our friends. They need to come along, because when they stand up and they start to speak, then change will really take place. But as long as they're willing to sit silently by and have to be concerned about it, or send a text message, say, I sympathize with you. No, if you sympathize with me, get off your behind and come on out here with us and make your voice and your opinion known.
Exactly.
Man, she just said a mouthful right here.
Absolutely. Hold on. Yes, indeed. Now, Billy, I'm asking everybody, are you with us on this? Are you willing to be a part of it?
I'm with you. You just tell me where I need to be.
Okay.
Tell me where I need to be.
Good deal. Now, who else? I'm trying to. Hey, Donna, what's on your heart? Donna, talk to me. We need you to drive up to Atlanta, Donald. We need you to drive up, brother. You need to be here.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Just let me know, because you know, talk don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear this build up of a conversation to do something, and then we hear another build up a conversation to do something,
mm-hmm.
and years pass by, and that's where we fail at.
Exactly.
We're
Exactly.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's time to do something.
And see, and that's what I was saying earlier, man. It has to be a point of time where the talking is good, the communication is good. You have to have communication, but at the end of the day, you know, there have to be a point where the talking stop and the action begins. Now I think we are to the point where we need the action to begin. We need the action to begin. Anna, what's on your heart?
So yeah, communication is just not working anymore. I'm a person who, I said at the beginning of the show, I was originally against carrying concealed weapons. I'm to the point where families need to defend themselves as a whole, you know, and always carry cameras on them. Make sure you have cameras on your cars. Make sure you have cameras installed everywhere. And let's make sure that as a community, brown and black, we stick together, and we have others, and they're right, other people, including our Caucasian brothers and sisters, because they are brothers and sisters, the ones that are willing to make change. Let's do that. Cassandra has made a very good point. Let's stop purchasing items. Let's stop giving them my items. Let's get starting at DKM Radio, Media Group and Associates. Let's go ahead and just start meetings. Let's start having those celebrities come in with us and turn around and say, you know what? I'm with you. I'm tired too. That is disturbing, the way that man was killed. For you to call for your mother, and your mother passed away already, that I can only imagine, and I don't know what somebody sees right before their death, but I can only imagine that maybe he saw a vision of her. And that breaks my heart as a woman and as a mother. And we need to make sure that we make this change. We need to make sure we make this change together. And let's not stop. Let's do what our citizen brothers and sisters that are Puerto Rican did. And that is not stop, not forget in a few months, continue the fight till it stops.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Then we got to get out of here. We're supposed to have been gone at 9 o'clock. It's 9:23. Lord, my Jesus, but this is good, man. We have to do this. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Kira. How's everybody doing?
Hey, Kira, how you doing?
Hey, beautiful lady.
Got a couple. Hey, I just got a couple pieces from the end of the show. I did. We're doing this, so please keep us posted on that. I would love to be able to attend that. And as far as, you know, the video of the young man, they got killed by the police officers. I couldn't even watch that. I saw an image of it, but I couldn't click on the video. And I won't keep you long, but I just wanted to say thank you to Curtis for mentioning Tyrone West. He's family. So I definitely appreciate you for mentioning him. And one of the reasons I couldn't watch the video is because they did something similar to him, with, you know, putting their knee in his neck and so much other horrible things. So Curtis, thank you for mentioning him. But Raheem, I just wanted to, and Anna, I just wanted to mention him, because I want to be a part of it, and I want to see who else I can get involved to be a part of it too.
We're gonna come together. As a matter of fact, we're probably gonna do a Zoom meeting in the next couple of days, probably even sometime when we get everybody lined up at the same. We have up to 100 people in that Zoom meeting. We could talk about it, start to discuss it, and move forward with it. This is something that we don't want to wait. We don't want it to be like 2 or 3 months down the line. We want to go ahead and jump on this thing now and get it motivated, get it going. And we'll probably end up doing actually more than one town hall meetings, probably even in different locations.
We don't need to stop. We don't need to stop. We need to continue them until change happens.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Right, that Zoom meeting need to happen today. I know it's last minute, but it need to be just like when we did the fundraiser. That needs to happen immediately. Because even if we only have 6 people on the first
do this for me, everybody. Okay,
the initial process of it's got to happen today.
Okay, let's do this right here. Everybody, everybody that want to be involved in it, inbox me. Just inbox me a contact number or an email. Inbox me a contact number or an email, and we'll reach out to you. We're gonna reach out to you today. We're gonna make sure this thing happens. So inbox me and just send me the information. As a matter of fact, just inbox me a phone number. Inbox me a phone number that you want me to contact you on with this Zoom presentation, and we can do it today. We can actually absolutely do it today. And so if you all don't mind, if y'all want to be a part of it, inbox me a phone number. And when I get those phone numbers, I just make my list. And when I do the Zoom presentation, I'll put all y'all in there, send it all out at one time. And so yeah, somebody just send it to me. So yeah, inbox me your phone number if you want to be a part of it. If you're not, even if you're not on the call right now and you want to be a part of it, inbox me your phone number, and I will in this Zoom meeting that we're going to do today, and we'll get this ball rolling. But listen, it's time. Anybody have anything before we get out of here, man? It's time for us to get out of here. It's 9:27. Anybody have anything before we go? Okay, good deal.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, did you get the song?
The song?
Did you get the song? Yeah, did you get the song from Lil Kirk?
No, how'd you send it to me?
I sent it to you email, I sent it to you text. Anna, you got it, right?
Yes, sir, I got it. I love it. It took me back to that Kumo D type stuff, that real hip hop.
Yeah, there you go.
We trying to set on it, man. But let me get with my son Raheem, and see if he want to do like a sneak preview, and let you go on and
man, listen. No.
Right now.
Great. Let me say this to you.
Want to listen to first thing in the morning.
Let me say this to you, Kurt. What we could do a lyrical red zone. But let me talk to you off air about that. We could do a lyrical red zone. That way we can actually play the video and everything. But my thing is, right, we got to get out of here, man. It is now 9:29. I'll call you in just a minute, Curtis. 9:29, and we're about to we're about to exit the Morning Glow. Anna, what's going on at 3:00 today?
So at 3:00, if you missed the show, and you can listen to it in its entirety at DKM. Sorry, let me start all over at www.dkmradio.com, and we'll listen to you. We hope you guys are listening it to us then. I don't know why I keep freezing.
Yeah, it's something going on with the system. I think it's maybe the weather. The system is actually acting up just a little bit, but we're gonna make it through. Okay. It's good. And so yeah, it is now what is it? 9:28. 9:28. Before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take some of this light out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Y'all have a great day. Take an opportunity, take a chance, and love somebody. You never know. They might just love you back. Y'all have a great day.